When that water bottle rocket launched in the air like that, the air inside expanded so fast there was no time for any heat exchange. It was practically adiabatic. Adiabatic. A-D-I-A-B-A-T-I-C. Adiabatic. Adiabatic is usually an adjective that you hear in thermodynamics classes or physics or chemistry classes because it describes a system or a phenomenon where heat neither enters nor leaves the system. And they use the word in those classes because it always comes up in the context of this idealistic, removed from reality situation where, like, assume that this coffee is sitting in a styrofoam cup and we're pouring sugar into it. Assume that it's adiabatic. No heat is entering or leaving that coffee. And we know in reality, yeah, there's probably some heat leaving through that styrofoam container into the table. Probably some heat is leaving through the air. But you know what? We're going to fudge the numbers because we want to do some math and some analysis, and we're engineers and we're practical and we're not going to overthink this. And we're going to say it's adiabatic. We can do some calculations. We can see how much the coffee cools due to the dissolution of the sugar or whatever it is that's going on in there. And there's also non-adiabatic systems, of course. That is reality. But adiabatic systems are a nice abstraction or a nice simplification of phenomena, so we can analyze it. Like that bottle rocket situation I used in the beginning. Well, like when you launch off those bottle rockets, you can imagine when everyone's cheering and looking up in the sky and the water shooting out. Well, when we do calculations on it, we can assume it's adiabatic because the launch is so fast that there's no time for heat to cross the boundary of that system, for heat to enter through the bottle or to leave through that bottle. So yeah, that's a big old fancy way of saying that adiabatic systems are closed off to the outside world and heat doesn't come in, doesn't come out. And that is the word of the day, adiabatic. I'm Pius Wong. I'm an engineer who has a consulting education company called Pios Labs, and it's also a studio that produces this podcast and the K-12 Engineering Education Podcast. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to support Pios Labs and myself, please do at www.patreon.com/Pios Labs, Pioslabs.